2019 NBA champions, the Toronto Raptors.
Fans celebrated into the early hours of the morning today, but the festivities are not over yet.
Well, I will tell you, when I was talking to Drake last night, which I was, that I asked him if he was coming on Monday, and he didn't rule it out.
Mark Monday on your calendar. Preparations are underway for the Raptors Victory Parade. And remembering and honoring the late John Candy. The beloved comedian is inducted into the East York Hall of Fame. Good evening, I'm Talia Ricci. The biggest night in Canadian basketball history is still setting in for many. Our Toronto Raptors are champions, and fans didn't waste any time taking their celebrations to the streets for a city-sized party. Toronto is still savoring the victory that was 24 years in the making. Our Farah Morali was right in the middle of the action last night.
They were dancing in the streets, on the traffic poles, and even on trucks. Last night, Toronto came alive to celebrate a victory it's never tasted.
Your 2019 NBA champions, the Toronto Raptors.
What's going through your head when that buzzer went off?
It's just emotions. I couldn't contain my emotion. The last 2 minutes, it was crazy. It was crazy, but we got it. We've been waiting for this forever. 24 years. It's been amazing.
Today, the city woke up with a hangover of sorts. This morning, crews worked to pick up the pieces from the all-night celebration. Toronto police said today the worst things they dealt with last night were vandalism incidents. A couple of police cars were damaged, so were some buses. But all in all, the damage was minimal, considering the crowds.
Oh, I gotta get one of these hats. Like, look at it. We're the champions. We're Toronto. I can't believe it. I'm still in shock.
The celebration continued into the shops this morning. Everyone lined up to get their hands on this championship merch.
Buy stuff for my father for Father's Day.
Getting some hats.
Others, it seemed, spent the morning celebrating at the now infamous Raptors mural on Queen Street West. It got a mystery makeover in the wee hours after the victory.
Yeah, it's pretty good, pretty quick. There's multiple ones all over the city too, right? So it's really nice.
It drew plenty of attention today, and not just from diehard fans.
It's so liberating to come over here, and you can see, like, in such a city, in a mass of people as this, to show like the overwhelming support for our team.
Another mural that mysteriously popped up in the early morning hours is this one outside of Scotiabank Arena. It reads 2019 NBA champions. We don't yet know if this is going to be permanent, but one thing that is are the memories of the celebrations that rocked the city last night. Farah Morali, CBC News, Toronto.
Now, those were some pretty big crowds we saw. Tens of thousands were in the streets, but that number could easily be topped on Monday. That's when the Raptors Victory Parade will wind its way through the city. Ali Chiasson has the details.
Let's go Raptors! Let's go Raptors! Let's go Raptors!
The party don't stop. Yeah, so you're just walking around today, just
I mean, I just finished work, had a meeting, and walking back to work, and then yeah, we're all good. But I appreciate it. I want to thank the guys for everything they've done.
Is that leftover from last night?
Yeah, but I showered, so it's.
People are still coming down after last night's unofficial parade, shall we call it?
We climb stuff, like I climb stuff, like it's just like a burst of energy. You don't really know what to do with it.
If that scene was any indication, Monday's official parade is going to be huge.
Other cities who have had these celebrations have had, well over 1 million people. So it's a long parade route.
Starting at 10 a.m. at the Prince's Gates, the Toronto Raptors will travel in open-air double-decker buses, flaunting their shiny new Larry O'Brien trophy along Lakeshore, then north on York Street to University Avenue, ending at Nathan Phillips Square for the party starting at 12:30.
And so there's a lot of moving parts, and we're draining the reflecting pool right now, and then we'll cover it so we can get more people on the square.
Since the city has pulled off the Jurassic Park celebrations throughout the final, Ross says the city just scales up from there.
Our focus throughout the playoffs, and particularly into the finals and the semifinals, was in advance of the next game, and making sure that at that game that we had all the right supports in place and that we had all the right staffing in place.
In 1963, it's the Toronto Maple Leafs.
We may not win world championships very often, but when we do, we show up and show out. From way back when the Leafs won the Stanley Cup 3 times in the 60s. Here's us in 1993 high-fiving the Blue Jays after winning the World Series. So this parade is long overdue.
I actually had Game 7 tickets, and I was like, you know what, just wrap it up. I don't care for the tickets.
I am from South Carolina.
You guys Raptors fans now?
Yes, the energy, being Jurassic Park. Woo! Drake, I would have loved to be here to see you at that parade, really.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I'm flying out.
And all eyes are going to be on us for the parade on Monday. What do you hope people watching from around the world or in America see?
That to take away that amazing country that Canada is. We've come together as a country. We worked really hard for the last 23, 24 years. We haven't had anything. We're coming together as a country and we're going to celebrate.
Heads up, fans, it's going to be the same drill as those Jurassic Park days. You can expect major road closures to allow for this parade on Monday. So the advice from the city is to plan ahead and take public transit to the party. Ali Chiasson, CBC News, Toronto. Now we'll have special live coverage of the Raptors Victory Parade right here on CBC Television, hosted by Dwight Drummond and Adrian Arsenault. We'll bring you the sights and sounds of the celebrations as the NBA champions make their way through the streets of Toronto. That starts Monday at 10 a.m. and runs until 2 p.m. Meteorologist Nick Sternkovich joins us now for a first look at our forecast. And I have a feeling today that the clouds opened up and the sun came down just because of our Raptors win.
And I would have to agree with you on that one. Yeah, beautiful. 23 degrees today, and we are going to see more in the way of sunshine. However, into the weekend, a little bit of a mixed bag, at least to kick it off. And we're going to start with that right now. We're looking at some high cloud cover rolling in through this evening. The risk of a few spotty showers through the morning, but through tomorrow afternoon, we're going to see a line of rain that's going to slide through the GTA. The good news is, as we move forward, the models are actually forecasting less and less in the way of rainfall. So I think overall, we're looking at a pretty sunny picture over the next few days. For tonight, though, a few scattered showers through the overnight, kind of breaks up for the morning. And then tomorrow afternoon, as I mentioned, more in the way of rain showers. Pretty gusty winds as well, though, about 30 to 50 kilometers per hour, similar to what we had today. There's your rain showers for tomorrow, but we've still got Father's Day to talk about and the Raps coming home on Monday. Full details on all of that in just a bit.
Thanks, Nick. We'll check in a little later.
You bet.
A special ceremony tonight to honor a Canadian legend. The late John Candy was inducted into the East York Hall of Fame. It was recently created to celebrate the history of the community and those who have contributed to it. Angelina King was there tonight.
I hope you wake up so stiff you can't even move.
The late John Candy, a legendary Canadian actor and comedian, remembered for being charitable, down to earth, and of course making people laugh, is now a Hall of Famer. Candy is officially the first inductee in the newly formed East York Hall of Fame.
So many people just love and respect and just are inspired by the work that he did, and we want to associate that with East York.
Candy was raised in East York. He worked at and watched movies at the Donlands Theatre, inspiring his love for film. He rose to fame as a member of Second City. His talents then took him to Hollywood, where he starred in several films, including Uncle Buck and Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Sorry.
Throughout his career, he still remained close to home.
Bruce McNall and John Candy were given a hero's welcome.
In 1991, the Toronto Argonauts won the Grey Cup. It was the same year Candy signed on as co-owner.
He loved Canadian football.
Mike Pinball Clemens was on the team that year and remembers Candy on the sidelines.
The coldest game in Grey Cup history, right? And he wasn't in the private box being warm. It was the atmosphere he created on a consistent basis. Time after time again, he was so real, he was so human, he was so authentic, he cared so much.
Candy's family echoing those sentiments.
He was a funny, lovable family guy who had a heart of gold, very Canadian, and, you know, just loved to make people laugh.
The board says it's now working with the city to have a street named after the star. In the meantime, the plan is to set up the Hall of Fame here at the East York Community Center. Eventually, it'll feature people from different types of groups, from students and volunteers to celebrities and sports stars, all with great achievements and a strong connection to East York. Angelina King, CBC News, Toronto.
The 6 in the 6. Sounds kind of poetic, right? I'm Natalie Nanowski. What does the Raptors winning the NBA Finals mean for Toronto? Does it change the world's opinion of us? I'll have that story coming up.
A developing story tonight related to last night's big game. A sheriff's department in California is recommending that Masai Ujiri be charged with battery, similar to an assault charge in Canada. That's after an incident between the Raps president and a police officer. The sheriff's office says Ujiri was asked for his credentials as he tried to make his way onto the court for the trophy presentation. They claim Ujiri didn't have them, then pushed the deputy. At one point, Ujiri's arm allegedly struck the officer. Videos on social media show the Raps president holding what appears to be his credentials before and during the incident, leaving some to ask why he was stopped. He did eventually join the celebration on the court. A Raptors spokesperson says the team is cooperating with authorities. A man was shot and seriously hurt last night just steps away from where crowds had gathered to celebrate the Raptors' win. The shooting took place around 4 a.m. near Yonge Dundas Square. Investigators say they received a call about an altercation and the sound of gunshots. The victim is said to have a serious to potentially life-threatening injury. 7 people were taken into custody, and police say they also found a gun.
Let's go Raptors! We the North! Let's go Raptors! We the North!
You can call this Jurassic Square, at least for one night. These are Raptors fans living it up in New York, painting Times Square red and black and spreading We the North south of the border. Raptors fans were tuned in around the world last night, watching the finals and also how the Six celebrated after the win. So, will all this exposure help boost tourism in Toronto? Natalie Nanowski is looking into that for us tonight.
Raising that trophy was 24 years in the making, and the world watched as we celebrated. One of the biggest moments in this city's history. The passion, contagious. Even Oprah's feeling it.
Raptors won. Toronto's gone crazy. I'm headed to, Canada. Can't wait to see you.
Steph Curry wasn't thrilled, but called Drake to congratulate him.
Enjoy it, man. It's big time for you, the whole city, the whole everybody. Y'all deserve it, man.
This was the moment Drake has been waiting for.
You see what my hat says, not finals, not Eastern Conference, not nice try, or see you next year, champions.
The win made headlines across the globe, many commenting about how we politely partied in the streets.
Those are some pretty good things that the world is saying about us, but let's find out what people on the ground think. What do tourists think of Toronto? Let's go. Hey guys, are you from Toronto at all? No, we're from Florida. You guys are from Florida?
Yeah.
What did you guys know about the city before you came?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Just the Raptors and
Yeah, pretty much.
Sour.
In the middle of the night, I kept hearing a little whisper go, something about, let's go Raptors, let's go Raptors.
How has your opinion changed then?
I would consider moving here. Yeah.
Whoa!
I would consider moving here. Yeah, the weather, the people, everything has been, quite enjoyable.
At Tourism Toronto, are you going to now use the NBA and the Raptors in your promotions?
The whole NBA experience has been a part of our promotion for a long time because it shows Toronto so well. It shows kind of the energy of the fans. It's a very diverse fan base, which again puts the best of Toronto on display.
During the NBA Finals, there was a tourism boom in the city.
You've had media here from China and Spain and Brazil, and so it plays back Toronto and the best of Toronto into markets that are very important for us, where we're seeing a lot of tourism growth.
And that growth is expected to continue as the city relishes its championship win. Natalie Nanowski, CBC News, Toronto.
It's a celebration today in this grade 2 classroom. Wait guys, who watched the game last night? Wait. How did you feel when the Raptors won? I'm Kelda Yoon at Heather Heights Public School. Coming up, I'll take you along for the ride. This class will be celebrating, partying all day.
The weather update is brought to you by Train Extreme Conditions Testing. It's hard to stop a train, really hard. Train, the most reliable heating and cooling brand.
Now that Raptors high also includes some of our young fans. A school in Scarborough had a little celebration today, and our Kelda Yoon stopped by.
Toronto Raptors! The afternoon began with song celebrating champions. Champion, champion. Inside Amelia Maharaja's grade 2 class at Heather Heights Public School, it's an all-day party.
Did you guys all watch the game last night? Yeah! Was it past your bedtime? Yeah!
Now they can say they witnessed history.
I thought they were going to lose, so I was like, I went to the kitchen to get some ice cream. But when when I came back, they actually won. Like, I put the ice cream back in the fridge, and I grabbed a pillar and I screamed in it. When they won, I was like running around and screaming.
Oh my goodness, are you tired today?
No.
The party included designing their own Raptors jersey and learning about the history of basketball.
You know, it's really important to know that basketball was founded by a Canadian, and I want my students to know that. I also want them to know that this is history.
And by the sounds of it, they know. They weren't the only ones celebrating. These kids at Church Street Public School were also pretty psyched.
Okay, can you guys show me your reaction when their Raptors won? I like it.
Even though most couldn't stay up to watch the big win.
Savannah, did you watch the game last night?
Yeah.
You watched the whole game?
Half of it.
Half of it, and then what happened? Did you go to bed?
I got tired.
Now you may remember this video where they gave the team some pointers.
Don't forget to drink water.
That's why they won, right?
Pointers that would have been helpful not just for the team, but for fans watching last night. And before I left, they had just one message for the Raptors.
Good luck next year!
Kelda Yoon, CBC News, Toronto.
Nick's back now with our extended forecast. And I think there's a couple of days people are wondering about Father's Day and, of course, the parade on Monday.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, you know, the good news in all of this, as I mentioned off the top, is I've been looking at the forecast models throughout the day today, and originally they were showing rain for both days. But as we move forward and they come out with new forecast models, it actually looks like it's going to be drier and drier. So I think we're going to get away with some good sunshine on both those days. However, before we get to that, here's what we're looking at. We are expecting to see a few showers roll through tomorrow morning, spotty, but it's really through the afternoon where a line of rainfall moves across the GTA, and that's going to slide down through about a 6 or 8 hour period. Then it sort of clears out into Sunday, and this is the next system that we're tracking for Sunday. With it, though, most of the models actually showing this push to the south. So although it does look like it on this particular model, I actually think we're going to stay dry for Sunday, and in fact, into Monday as well. For tomorrow, though, what you can expect is about 5 to 10 millimeters of rain, heavier amounts to the south, but you can see the trend is actually to push this thing further to the south. We are going to see some rain showers and even the risk of a thunderstorm down in southwestern Ontario, though, through tonight, rather tomorrow. Tonight, though, a few spotty showers, temperatures down to about 16 degrees. Winds as well, about 30 to 60 kilometers per hour. So still pretty gusty over the next 24-hour period. By tomorrow, highs at 23 degrees in southwestern Ontario. The risk for thunderstorms, though, largely down in southwestern Ontario. Maybe down around Kitchener-Waterloo to about Hamilton. We might see a few spotty thunderstorms, but for the most part, I think what we're looking at tomorrow is just showers for the GTA. For tonight, a few light showers, and then tomorrow, highs to 21 degrees. And again, we're looking at those rain showers moving through in the afternoon, but I think the thunderstorm activity will stay largely to southwestern Ontario. Long-range forecast looks like this: 21 degrees, as I said, for tomorrow. Sunday, 20 degrees, mainly cloudy skies. Still have a chance of showers in there, but I think it is trending towards staying dry. If we do see the rain, it'll be more of sort of a morning event. Monday, generally dry conditions, a mix of sun and cloud, 20 degrees, and a pair of 23s for Tuesday and Wednesday. Talia.
You know what, Nick? That's the best forecast I've seen in a while, so thanks for that.
I am glad to provide.
We did it! We did it, baby!
Champagne showers galore in Oakland last night, with the Raps and even some reporters getting in on the action. Family of the players also made their way into the locker room to celebrate, including Kawhi's sister.
I'm very excited because my brother worked so hard along with his teammates. I'm excited for the city, the country, and everything. I appreciate everything. I'm so excited. Words can't even express.
He's the MVP, the two-time Finals MVP.
You know, he works hard. And as a child,
for the Raptors because they deserve it.
What was he like? What was he like as a child? You were just about to say.
This is my mom right here.
Oh, wow.
So she knows more. However, he was humble. He was work at every single day. He went out on our basketball court and shot and shot and shot.
And I do that now.
Can I say this?
Yeah.
I have it on tape. I said you are going to be the next NBA player or NFL player because he played both. But his passion was basketball. And he did that. And I'm so happy for him right now, and along with the rest of the Toronto Raptors. Toronto, you guys are the greatest fans.
There are thousands of them on the streets right now celebrating.
No, oh my God. I have so many texts and so many messages on my Instagram and the fan page that I run, which is Kawhi Leonard official fan page. They follow me and they send me so many messages on my page.
Do you know about Kawhi and Dine?
I heard. Oh my God, it's so much going on. You know what? I love the city of Toronto.
You should get in on some of that. I bet you they would offer you whatever you want too.
I bet they will.
You need to talk your brother into re-signing. You'll get whatever you want.
I bet. But you know what? I'm happy and he's happy at the end of the day. Go Raptors, go.
And that's our show for you tonight. Thanks for watching. Marivelle Tarouk has your next local news tomorrow at 6. But before we go, here's some more of the sights and sounds from last night's party. Have a great weekend.